Hey guys, what's up? So today's video is going to be a wear test slash first impression of the new Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I received a few samples in the mail from Laura Mercier, so shout out to you, Laura Mercier. And since I'm actually going to an event with the brand today, I figured I can film a video getting ready before, or getting ready as I get ready. I figured I could film a video testing out the new foundation and then take you guys along with me to the event. So I just applied the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter primer. I'm actively trying to finish that one up because I have too much makeup. So I'm currently doing Project Pan. Now I did receive 4 shades of the Laura Mercier foundation. They sent me the shades Ganache and Hazelnut, which are the 2 that I'm going to try to use, but they had also sent Suntan and Pecan. Those 2 were too light for me. I do think that Ganache, which is this deeper one right here, would be best for me, but I will just swatch so you guys can see the 2. So the top one is Ganache and the other one is Hazelnut. So I'm going to go in with Ganache and then just try to blend out my concealer, etc., highlight, that way my face isn't too dark. But I will say it is very lightweight. I don't get a matte like feeling out of it. It does seem to be more of a satin finish. Oh my god, it's it's so dark. And I will say the shade selection, like, there needs to be a shade in between these 2 because it's just not working out for me. I'm pretty sure I can mix these 2 and make my own actual shade, but I don't like to do that. So I'm going to go in with a lighter concealer, hopefully. It is pretty radiant, but not dewy. So if you have oily skin like me, I'm curious to see how this will hold up because I'm not getting like a typical full coverage matte feeling from this. It is very lightweight on the skin. I would call it more of a medium finish foundation because I can still see like some of my skin peeking through. For my concealer, I am using the new Estee Lauder Double Wear Instant Fix Concealer. I do work for Lauder, in case you guys don't know. And this concealer shade that I'm using, it's not to brighten the under eye, it's more so a skin tone color. I do have a lighter shade that I use if I want to highlight the under eye area, but I'm not doing that. If you have read my blog or if you followed me for a while, you know that I don't like the super bright under eye look. It just doesn't suit me, I don't think. I always feel like I look a little bit weird with it. So I like my concealer to blend in with my skin tone so that it cancels out the darkness, but it's not like too highlighted under there. So I'm gonna go in with another layer and then set that with the Fenty Beauty powder. Since I'm going to a Laura Mercier event, I am going to use one of their caviar eye stick things. I think this is a new shade. This is the shade Beam and it is a duochrome color. So I'm going to apply this all over the lid. I don't do crazy makeup. I like this because it provides such a beautiful sheer wash of color, but it is sort of metallic, so it adds a little bit of a kick to the eyes, but it doesn't require like lots of blending and packing on and blah blah blah. So these are super easy. This is the first time I'm actually using the caviar sticks. And I'm curious to see if it creases, but I do just like the ease since I'm not one of those like crazy cut crease blah 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 kind of gals. just from playing with this right off the bat, I do feel like maybe I should have put down some powder or something on the lids, because it is mixing with the foundation and it's making it a little hard to blend, since whenever I go over the color, it kind of picks up. So maybe it needs to tap and not like... There we go. It is making it look kind of streaky. That's the word. Okay. So these the caviar stick eye color, I do feel like it's a little bit difficult to work with because I found that it was pretty streaky. So what I had to do was draw on the lines, or draw it on the lids, and then blend it out or tap out with my finger. Let that sit for a little bit and then go on top of it. This eye, one eye is funkier than the other, but we're just gonna let it ride. It is a very, very beautiful soft wash of color, and I think it's beautiful for every day, but I do think that there's maybe a learning curve, and perhaps it's because this is my first time playing with it, that I didn't know how to work this product, I guess. So yeah, so this is the face. I wanted to do kind of like an all over monochromatic purple look. It's a little bit brighter than I typically wear, but I'm feeling a little spring. You know, I'm trying to usher in the warm weather even though it's still freezing cold. So I am going to put on my clothes, and then I have to run out the door because Makeup by Mario is going to be there and I want to be on time. But hopefully I can check in throughout the day to show you guys how the foundation is wearing. But so far my thoughts are it is a nice medium to full coverage. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Medium to full coverage. I like how lightweight it is on the skin, so kudos to them. But I don't want to say it's like a full coverage matte because that's not the vibe that I'm getting from it. So I'm going to go to the event. I do see that the eyes are creasing a little bit. So again, I think I have a learning curve with these like stick pencils because they kind of like smudge when you kind of layer it on and build on top of it. So we'll see how it lasts throughout the day. Welcome back. It is now 8:33. I finished my makeup at around 2 o'clock. It was definitely 2 o'clock, so 6.5 hours have passed. This is my face. I am definitely oily. However, I will say I look a lot shinier in the camera than I am in person. I'm for sure like oily or dewy. Oily. I can't even front. I'm for sure oily, and I haven't blotted at all today, so I think this is it, y'all. I'm gonna zoom you in. This is what my face is looking like. You can kind of see it's like breaking apart where my laugh lines are. I'm very shiny. My oils they've come through, you know what I mean? The foundation held up pretty decently. I didn't have any issues. Like, my under eyes are still like dry. That powder, that Fenty powder, doesn't mess around. It's like everything but the under eyes is oily. It did start to break apart over here, and around my mouth it's completely gone because I was eating. I wiped my mouth off. Changed the lip color obviously after I ate. but this is my face without blotting. I think if you are oily skin, you're definitely going to have to touch up throughout the day. As I mentioned, this is a medium to full coverage. It's radiant. It's not going to be a flat matte kind of thing. I do think of it as more of like a radiant, and I think earlier I mentioned like a satin matte kind of foundation, but if you are oily skin like I am, you're going to have to A, have blotting paper, and B, make sure you have some sort of powder to mattify the face. I'm going to zoom you guys out because this is close. I think it's the worst foundation. I did like how lightweight it felt on the skin. It was pretty weightless. I forgot that I was wearing makeup, honestly. I didn't see any like transfer throughout, like whenever I kept on touching my face and when I went to touch my phone, or I had a white notebook at the Laura Mercier event and I didn't see foundation transfer, which was good. There are certainly some foundations that the minute you touch it, it goes all over the place, aka my NARS Radiant foundation. But yeah, I definitely think I will wear this again. I just know that it's not something that I'm going to wear if I'm going to go out at night, for example. This is probably something that I would wear if I'm going to go to work, and then I know I'm coming home after. And if I am going to go out after work, I know I have to have a powder or something just to control the shine. When I took photos, I will try to insert photos in this video clip if I remember, but when I took photos, my skin just looked alive. It didn't have that like luminosity to it, which I quite enjoyed, but it's just not a 15-hour wear foundation that they claim, at least not for me. I'm 6 hours in and I am hella shiny. I still think there needs to be a shade in between hazelnut and ganache, because I wore ganache and it looked fine after concealer, powder, blah blah blah, but at first pass it was quite dark. Maybe I've just been wearing the wrong foundation shade and I'm not used to seeing my skin so like deep or so rich, but I do think there needs to be a shade in between these two, because this is too deep, this is too light. I may mix them since I have them. I was lucky enough for Laura Mercier to send these to me, but if I were shopping at Sephora, it would be very hard because there's nothing in between. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go wash this makeup off, get ready for bed. I got work in the morning. So I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you've tried this foundation before and what your thoughts are. Is the shade weird? What are your thoughts on the shade, guys? I'm not the best with shade matching. I kind of just like what I like. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.